Alright, so let's go through this R formula question. Quite a difficult question. We are given the diagram. They want us to show that the H is equal to 3 cosine theta plus 5 sine theta. Okay, so first we must always find the theta and of course the right angle triangle. Okay, so apparently for this question, the difficult part, why is it difficult is because the right angle triangle is not distinct. So initially I also thought that, it's this right angle triangle, then the second right angle triangle is distinct, right? So this is not the two right angle triangle. So what are the two right angle triangle is actually distinct. So for example, I cut into this first right angle triangle. So this 90 degree. So next right angle triangle is actually this part. Right, so this is a right angle triangle. Okay, so next we must locate. Since I got two right angle triangle, I will have two theta. The first theta confirm will be given to us. So which is right here. So this will be the first theta. Okay, what about the second theta? Okay, second theta is actually this thing right here. So this is the second theta. Of course, if you don't believe, I can show it to you. For example, I know that this part I want to show that is theta. I simply just erase first. Okay, so first I look at this thing. Okay, I look at this theta first. Okay, so this is the theta 90, right? So of course this part will be 180 minus 90 minus theta will give you 90 minus theta. So this part, since they are opposite angle, right? So this will be 90 minus theta also. Then since you already label that, this is theta, right? Okay, just quote your answer. This 90, 180 minus 90 minus 90 minus theta will give you theta. So this will be the second theta that I want. Okay, so before I withdraw the right angle triangle, let me just erase all this first. Okay, so first right angle triangle is right here. Okay, second right angle triangle will be this, right? So for example, just draw. Okay, so after locating the two right angle triangle, I know that the total H, what is the H? The H is actually from the C all the way to the ground right here. Okay, looking at the first right angle triangle, looking at the first right angle triangle, I want to find what is my opposite, because I want to find this height first. So this is known as your oppo. Okay, so since I got oppo, I also got your hypo. So hypo is given as 5 right here. So these are 5. So since I got hypo 5, I want to find oppo, right? I simply just use tuakaso. So oppo and hypo, I use the sine theta equal to oppo divided by hypo. When you do your cross multiplication, your oppo will be equal to your 5 sine theta, which come out already. 5 sine theta, right? Okay, next part. Since this part is your 5 sine theta. Next, I want to find this thing. So this 90 degree. Okay, I want to find this part. So for example, I want to find this part. Alright. Okay, so this will be adjacent. If you look at the right angle triangle, right? Adjacent. Then we are given, so you help me label the hypo already, like 3 centimeter. Okay, next part will be, I want adjacent, I have hypo, so it's car, right? So cosine theta will be equal to adjacent divided by hypo. So when you do a cross multiply, you will see, my adjacent is equal to 3 cos theta. Yeah, alright. So now I already have my 3 cosine theta right here. So I just simply add up, I will get the 3 cosine theta plus 5 sine theta. Yeah, so for part A, the difficult part is actually locating the two right angle triangle. Right. Okay, now we move on to part B. Okay, part B, express H in the form of your R formula. Okay, so it's a R cosine theta minus alpha. Okay, first thing, let's start off with my part B. Okay, so H equal to 3 cos theta plus 5 sine theta. So I simply just because cos comes first, meaning the R formula is R cos then you put a bracket theta. Since this is plus, right, you always change the sign. Every time you got cos, you always flip the sign, minus alpha bracket. What is the r? The r is simply just a bit of your Pythagoras theorem, right? 3 square plus 5 square. So 3 square is 9 plus 5 square is 25. So 25 about square root 34. Okay, what about your alpha? Okay, alpha, always remember this. Tangent alpha is equal to 5, second number, divided by first number. So it's alpha tangent inverse 5 over 3. So tangent inverse 5 divided by 3, you'll get about 59.0 degree. Okay, so now I put them in the nice form. H equal to square root 34 cos theta minus 59.0 degree. So that is for part B. Okay, now let's take a look at your part C. Find the maximum value of H and the corresponding value of theta. Okay, always remember, if you look at C, you look at part the H first, look at your part H. I mean your answer for H, or in terms of the R formula. Always remember this part, always look at this part. Okay, so this part, the maximum value you can go for cosine theta whatever thing, right, is 1. So the maximum value is square root 34 multiplied by 1, right, will give you square root 34. So that is for the first part. Okay, of course, what is the corresponding value of theta? You solve for the trigo equation. Okay, for trigo equation, you simply just let cosine theta minus 59.0 degree equal to 1. So that will be sufficient already. Okay, next thing is that whenever we are doing R formula, always remember the theta right here will always be lesser than 90. Meaning that, for example, you want to calculate, you want to solve for a trigo equation, you simply just do ASDC, right? So first step, you determine the quadrant. So when you determine the quadrant is in, because it's positive, right? Meaning it's in the first or the fourth quadrant. First or fourth. Okay, second is to determine your basic angle. Basic angle meaning, for example, cos. Okay, you change whatever you see here to alpha. So you change to alpha. Alpha stands for basic angle equal to 1. So when you solve for your basic angle, you will actually get cos inverse 1, right, will give you 0 degree. Okay, third step, you draw. So third step, right, you draw. Okay, so let's draw the first angle first. Okay, first is in the first quadrant. So it's actually theta minus 59.0 degree. So that is for the first. Whatever you see here, you just copy. You just draw accordingly. Okay, after that, I draw the basic angle of 0 degree. Okay, so we know that, okay, this part, theta minus 59 is equal to 0. So theta, we know that theta, if I solve for theta, right, minus 59.0 degree equal to 0. So theta will become your 59.0 degree. So that is the first answer. Okay, let's go to the fourth quadrant. Okay, fourth quadrant, we draw like this. Okay, so this is your fourth quadrant, theta minus 59.0 degree. So when you draw, the base angle for the fourth quadrant is here. So this is 0, right? Meaning that this whole thing here is 360. So this thing here equate to 360. So if you solve for theta, it's about 419 like that, which is already out of range, right? Because for theta, we must always ensure it's less than 90. So the answer will be just this, 59.0 degree. Alright. Okay, so now let's move on to the last part. So the last part, they want us to find the value of theta for which C is 4 cm above the ground. So how do I solve this? First of all, let's go back to the R formula. So we know that R formula is this, right? Square root 34 cos whatever equal to, just equate to 4 cm. Then you solve accordingly. So, okay, part D. So square root 34 cos theta minus 59.0 degree is equal to, okay, let me just erase this, 4 cm. Then you solve accordingly. Okay, so the square 34 just move to the right hand side. So it's cos theta minus 59.0 degree equal to 4 over square root 34. Okay, same idea. Always look at the 3 steps. Right? First step, determine the quadrant. So since this is positive, we want the first and fourth quadrant. Second step, determine your basic angle. So cos alpha equal to 4 over square root 34. Then you just calculate your alpha first. So cos inverse. Okay, your basic angle is roughly 46.68, about 46.7 degree like that. Okay, after that, you just draw. So draw. So first quadrant, right? Let's draw the first quadrant first. Okay, first quadrant is theta minus 59.0 degree. So that is the first drawing you will draw. Okay, then second drawing, you draw the basic angle of 46.7 degree. Alright, okay, so when you do that, you know that, okay, theta minus 59.0 degree is equal to 46.7 degree. So theta will be equal to, let's calculate, about 105.6861433 degree. Okay, so apparently this theta is 105.7. Always go back to 1 dp. Okay, next part will be the fourth quadrant. Okay, fourth quadrant is here. So fourth quadrant is this one. Okay, so I calculate theta minus 59.0 degree. So this part will be your 46.7 degree. So if you do your calculation, this whole thing will be 360 minus 46.7 will give you about 313.3. So of course, when you equate this equal to this, you will get about more than 360. So let's go back to the thing that they want. Okay, so for theta, okay, theta if okay, so theta I believe that both are acceptable. Because they never restrict the theta unless theta otherwise. So for this, right, you simply just put 105.7 or 360, but I think 360 not very plausible. So the best answer I would say is 105.7 degree.